Hi, welcome to She Spice. So, Jaguar Wright was captured, the one who's been spilling all the succulent business tea, getting down on everybody from Diddy to Jay-Z, to R. Kelly and an entire bundle of other obscure characters for quite a while. She's been dropping these sensational claims about the widely adored famous people, and a part of what she said has ended up being valid. I mean, simply take a gander at Diddy. However, in spite of this, she's generally figured out how to avoid inconvenience, yet her new capture has individuals talking. A few people are saying that the high rollers at the top are attempting to quieten her. I can hardly trust that everyone will figure out what's truly been happening behind the scenes. Now, Jaguar may be viewed as a little fry, contrasted with the enormous names she's been getting down on, making her an obvious objective, like this isn't her first disagreement with the law. However, there's another hotshot who's likewise not reluctant to get down on his companions. In all honesty, Mark Wahlberg, many individuals don't realize that Marky Mark previously attempted to make it in rap, yet he needed to forsake his fantasy in light of one individual, and as per the bits of hearsay, that individual is, as a matter of fact, Diddy. I do it. I had a valuable chance to truly return the music business with the best. When they came to me, we sat there together, and I was like, I needed to say, I can't as of now, scandalousness is the new normal. At any rate, we should make a plunge, as we as a whole realize Diddy is presumably the most discussed VIP at the present time. In light of that multitude of charges against him, he's fundamentally viewed as a shame tycoon, like his mate R. Kelly. Now the more Diddy got uncovered, the most. Different VIPs were getting uncovered as well, and regardless of whether the tales are valid, it's still terrible PR for their picture. Panther Wright was at the front of calling them out. All that she said about Diddy ended up being valid, which gave her greater validity, and you better accept. These superstars most certainly don't need that. Consequently, the capture you let us know lift to that young lady's sources guarantee she was captured for something different, yet individuals acts. That is only a C-up. They think the genuine explanation she was secured was on the grounds that the high-ups don't need her talking. So on June 6, Jaguar was captured in Dallas for property robbery somewhere in the range of $30,000 and $150,000. She was delivered on June 7 after a $10,000 bond was posted. Evidently, she had a remarkable warrant since she purportedly leased a U-Take truck and never returned it anyway, before she was even rescued. She called Sean Davey Way from prison to let him know she'd been set up and that there was no real charge to hold her on. So with this entire truck circumstance, are they going to give you a bail or no to this end? Many individuals are saying there's another side to the capture, since Jaguar has expressed a ton of things that raised a ruckus. Mark Wahlberg likewise has some succulent stuff to say regarding Diddy. Rumors from far and wide suggest that Marky Mark quit the rap game in view of Diddy. The authority story is that Wahlberg needed to have some succulent stuff to say regarding Diddy. Rumors from far and wide suggest that Marky Mark quit the rap game in view of Diddy. The authority story is that Wahlberg needed to be a rapper yet found acting, since he expected to get by when his music profession battled to take off anyway. The informal story is far more fascinating. Evidently, Wahlberg abandoned the music business due to what he saw at Diddy's home and in studios all around the nation. As per some profound insider sources, the wild overabundances and size scenes he saw pushed him to jettison music and spotlight on films. I had a chance to truly return to the music business with the best when they came to me. We stayed there together, and I was like, I needed to say, I can't yet. You will not hear this from Mark himself, since he's evidently arranging a rebound to rap and doesn't need to cause some disruption to his future record. Initially, Mark Wahlberg needed to continue in the strides of his more seasoned sibling, Donnie Wahlberg, one of the establishing individuals from the teeny bopper group Newcomers. As a matter of fact, Mark was essential for the first setup, but passed on to pursue his actual enthusiasm for rap. He framed Marky, Mark and the Out of Control pack with his companions, Hector the Good's overseer Ashley Pro and DJT in 1991. The Gathering delivered their most memorable venture music for individuals and scored a success with their single Great Vibrations about that opportunity to bring forth. The fans cherished the new Gathering and their music truly hit home. They had one more hit with their subsequent single Wild Side, which crested at number 5 on the Bulletin hot single deals graph, and even went gold in light of the fact that Endured a Shot on Wild Things were going perfectly for the Out of Control bundle. When they opened for the New Children on the Block during their Keep Going visit, they were on the ascent and, surprisingly, sent off their own computer game. However, it didn't work out quite as well as their music still resolute. The Gathering delivered their second LP, which you got to accept. However, it didn't make similar progress as their Presentation collection. They simply figured out how to get a minor hit with the title track as the Gathering battled to recover their underlying achievement. Things got ugly in 1992 when Mark co-marked Shabarank's disputable remarks about the LGBTQ in addition to the local area, saying gay individuals ought to be killed. The reaction was quick and extreme. The gay local area required his scratch-off, requesting brands drop him as a diplomat and encouraging fans to blacklist his music. The intensity of his remarks was serious to the point that Mary Mark needed to move to Germany to resuscitate his vocation around there. He endorsed with East West Records and worked with the late Reggie craftsman Sovereign Itel Joe. Together, they figured out how to reinvigorate his music. Their track Join turned into a hit in Germany, besting a few neighborhood graphs and procuring high commendation from fans and pundits. Marky Mark, furthermore, Prince E.T. Joe collaborated again in 1995 for a remix collection under Ultronic Records. The German achievement permitted Mark to assemble a melodic demonstration called One Love, where he filled in as the maker and some of the time the lead vocalist. They began dealing with a third studio collection, and he even highlighted on their tune That Is the Manner in Which I Like It, which had moderate achievement contrasted with his performance projects anyway. Before long enough, his name began pushing him toward a path he would have rather not headed. They believed that him should embrace a harder persona like Eminem and jump into criminal rap, yet Mary Mark Head was in a different space. He had done time in prison for an episode including Johnny Trin, a Vietnamese-American veteran. Mark was condemned to 2 years yet just served 45 days. This experience transformed him, and he needed to make music that decidedly impacted his fans and joined individuals across racial lines in America. Sadly, his music Mark had various thoughts. They needed him to depict a road persona, rapping about laying down with ladies, doing feeing with his mom, and getting down on anybody who contradicted him in a meeting. W. Beer focused on how things could have been unique on the off chance that his name had quite recently upheld his vision. I figure I might have been much more fruitful if I'd been permitted to do what I had any desire to do. The record organization had one explicit thought, furthermore, still up in the air, to go for that Wahlberg made sense of. At first, he obliged the name designs, particularly since his sibling Donnie was at that point making millions and he was penniless. I had just escaped prison and I needed to make a record. I saw my sibling bringing in this cash while I was all the while battling, so I sort of compromised a piece. However, the continuous contentions about his vocation bearing at last pushed him to his limit when they continued to drive me further the other way. That is the point at which I chose not to make another record and to stand by my contract. Mark said by then he had seen enough of the business-clouded side brimming with fiendish revelry and defilement and concluded he would have rather not been separated from it any longer. He had survived the terrible East Coast-West Coast competition that killed two of the best rappers of their time, Tupac and Biggie Smalls. He had seen the destruction public, like Diddy had on the lives of people in the business, and he needed to chart another course. Formally, Mark Wahlberg and Diddy ran into each other around 2013 when they sent off Superior Execution's Soluble Water together. The business got major areas of strength for going well on the lookout. Anyway, word on the road is that their most memorable gathering happened when Marky Mark was frantically attempting to restore his musical vocation, subsequent to leaving East West Records. He was searching for a new beginning far away from his checkered past, and he thought Terrible Kid Records may be the response. The explanation Mark didn't wind up marking with an awful kid is dependent upon much theory, one being that Diddy supposedly mentioned something extremely strange, like giving him a head. Now, this could sound totally freakish, yet if Panther composes words or anything to go by, it probably won't be excessively far. Brought a couple of years prior, Jaguar guaranteed that Diddy was prone to lay down with new male craftsmen who came to him for monetary help, She portrayed a tale about a female legal counselor who worked for terrible kid records, however needed to stop after she unintentionally strolled in on Diddy. Getting oral seeks from vocalist and entertainer Christopher Williams. As per Panther, the legal counselor had gone to Diddy's office to get a few papers marked finding the entryway somewhat partially opened. And she let herself in just to see Williams bowing between Diddy's legs. She rapidly left the room, passing on the two men to their business. When she strolled in the entryway, wasn't locked, so she didn't mull over strolling in, and when she strolled in, she saw us. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.